Hey, mighty men of God, Joe Martin here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way by helping them become better husbands, better fathers, and spiritual leaders, and giving them real answers in the real world to real problems. Welcome to the Real Men Ride Along, but obviously this is office style because I'm not in my car. But I was just sitting here at the computer getting ready to do my normal activities and ministry activities, and it hit me that I wanted to shoot a quick video for you about how to keep your relationships on track. Let me say that again. About how to keep your relationships on track. And particularly we're talking about, now I'm referring to relationships with your children, but it can easily apply to relationships with your wife or with a friend. It's with any relationship. But the reason why I mentioned with the children, because I use this with my son. And some of you may be able to relate to this. I have a son who's now a young adult, and he's on his own. And I've noticed that he's making some choices and decisions that I don't always agree with. Now, I'm not talking about some egregious and really bad decisions that's putting his life in jeopardy. You know, just more issues on my part of him not meeting certain expectations or things I would like to see him do, whether it be financially, socially, or educationally, which is really none of my business because he's an adult. But that's neither here nor there. I'm getting off sidetrack. But basically, it's my responsibility as the father, as the more spiritual one. That's why I say it doesn't really matter what kind of relationship it is, whether with, as a parent-child relationship or as with a husband-wife relationship or with your friends. But we who are spiritually more mature or spiritually mature are expected to live to a certain standard that God expects us to live, especially when it comes to loving the people who he has called us to love and to lead. So I wanted to share with you some quick tips on how to keep your relationship on track. Well, I noticed that our relationship was getting a little bit off track. And what I mean by off track, that we're falling out of communication with each other. We typically communicate a lot, or at least when he was younger, we used to communicate a lot. But as he got older, I seen that he was distancing himself from us, which is always a sign that something is wrong in a relationship when one person starts to isolate themselves from the other. Now, I wasn't isolating myself from him, or neither was his mom or his sister, but I noticed that he was pulling away. So I decided to be proactive and decided to kind of bring it back and put it back on course. So that's why I'm shooting this video, how to keep a relationship on course and get it back on track. And basically, you don't have to do a lot except ask some really specific questions. Or should I say specific, just very wise, discerning questions. And basically, there were 3 questions that I wanted to ask him. And it was, now, I got to set the environment for you. Do not make it confrontational. Do not make it an intervention. Keep it casual. And so I decided to take him out for lunch to celebrate a belated post-birthday celebration for him. He had just turned 22. And we went out to a restaurant, and I asked him 3 questions. And these are 3 questions I think we should all be asking people who we love or who we're trying to make sure the relationship stays on track. Matter of fact, my son appreciated that I did ask the questions. He actually thought it was a great thing. So you have to initiate it. But here are the 3 questions. First thing I asked him, when he was a child. Now, this is assuming that maybe you had a relationship with this person before in the past. But I told myself, when you were a child, and here's the key word, what did you expect our relationship to look like when you got older? When, and if you wanted to put this in another context, when we knew each other back then and we first met each other, what kind of relationship did you expect that we would have right now? So I asked him about the expectation that he had, and I just shut up and I listened. That's all you do, is just listen. You don't judge, you don't interrupt, you don't intervene, you don't add commentary. Only thing you may ask is clarification. What do you mean by that? All right. So the first question is, what kind of relationship did you expect us to have back then, now? And then the next question, you probably can see this coming, is what relationship, how would you describe our relationship now? How would you describe our relationship now? Again, withhold your feelings, withhold your judgment, don't intervene, don't interrupt. Allow them to express themselves. This is their point of view. You're trying to get the relationship back on track. And you can't if you're telling them that they're wrong, that you're telling them that they're irrational, you're telling them that they're crazy. Don't get into an argument. You just want to listen. And need I say that before you even start this conversation, you want to pray to God and ask him to humble you in your spirit, to allow you to receive. That's exactly what I did. That you have to pray and ask for humility and brokenness, that God, this is not about me. This is about restoring my relationship with the person that I love. And this is about reflecting you. So you ask about expectation, you ask about where's our relationship right now, and then you ask the third question. This is all you ask. The third question is, where would you like our relationship to look like or to be like in the future? What would you like to see our relationship look like or be like in the future? That's it. You ask those three questions to find out where you were, where would you expect in the past for it to be right now? How would you describe it right now? And where would you like for our relationship to be in the future? Now, for added benefit, all that stuff is just information you may not be aware of, may not know about, and it gives you an idea of where their heart is. But if you want to go to the next level, and if you're brave enough to do it, and you should, because you are a man and you are the spiritual leader, you might want to add this as a bonus question. At least I did. What do you think I could do to help us improve our relationship? What do you think I could do to help us improve our relationship? Now, this is a very tricky question, and that's why I said you may not want to add it, but you could, because a lot of times from their perspective, if the relationship is going a little bit off course, more than likely they pulled away, not you. They pulled away. So they're going to be speaking out of their feelings a little bit, and they may start suggesting things or asking you to do things that you already have been doing, but for some reason they may not have noticed, or they may not have acknowledged it or even appreciated. So it's up to you to withhold hold your feelings a little bit and just let them say it and see if there's any credibility to it, because maybe it is something that you haven't done. So obviously you want to do that. And you just kind of just enjoy the rest of the conversation with them. That's it. Nothing complicated. Guys, you know we keep it super simple here on Real Men Connected, especially on the ride along. So please, if you have a relationship that's going a little bit off track, that is a way you can pull it back together again. So, hey, if this video and this message has blessed you, please share with another brother whose other relationship or another relationship in his life has gone a little bit off stray or off track, to help him get it back on track. Somebody who you may be mentoring or discipling. Guys, remember, we are males by birth, but we are men by choice. So each and every day, choose to be the man God called and created you to be, because a male is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. So until next time, be blessed, stay strong, and as always, stay in God's grip. Talk to you soon. Love you.